Now the conclusion to the story of Jeff and Denise, a local couple whose home was wrecked in 2009 when Jeff had an affair with a woman he connected with on Facebook. He walked out on Denise and their 3 young kids. So was their marriage really over?
I'd fallen in love with somebody else and I was leaving.
Jeff did leave and started the process of filing for divorce, but Denise wasn't ready to accept that. About 7 weeks into their separation, in a calm and gentle manner, she actually confronted the other woman in the parking lot of the woman's workplace.
After the confrontation, she was the one that came to me and said, "Listen, your wife loves you and wants to work this out. My husband wasn't willing to. You need to at least try."
And that was when things started to turn around. With help from their church and Christian counselors, Jeff and Denise reconciled and began to repair their marriage.
I fought for my marriage, and I'm glad I did.
Jeff and Denise say this can happen in any marriage, and they shared their story with us in an effort to warn others. Longtime counselor Tom Sass confirms people in his line of work are seeing more and more cases of marriages compromised by social media.
Did you see more marriages? Have you seen more marriages in the last few years
that have failed because of it? Yeah.
And when people do stray on social media, Sass says they rarely have an accurate picture of who their new partner really is.
There's a great tendency to try to live up to what everybody thinks of you.
What sort of safeguards have you put in place, specifically with regard to social media, but other ones as well? What have you done to make sure this doesn't happen again?
I don't accept friend requests from people in the workplace of the opposite gender.
The other week I had a lunch appointment set up. It was with a woman, and it was with somebody that I had also gone to school with, even though we really didn't talk through school. But I could see the nervousness in her. So I wound up taking somebody else with me.
And they have these final words of warning for couples going through struggles similar to theirs.
You've got to communicate. If you're struggling, I think the worst thing anybody can do is talk to somebody of the opposite sex.
You will be tempted.
Yeah.
So be prepared.
And here are some tips to help safeguard your marriage. They come from the local agency LifeWorks Counseling and Consulting. Leaders there recommend you and your spouse have a joint Facebook account. But if you're going to have separate accounts on Facebook or any social media, you should share passwords. Finally, if your spouse is uncomfortable with a certain friend, it is time to disconnect from that person altogether on social media.